We were very lucky in terms of how things worked out and how things are going now, because there are many different like difficulties that could arise in this like during the journey. But the short version is we had our information out there and we got received a phone call. I think I was at the grocery store. My wife was like, someone just called us. They're having a baby tomorrow. This was obviously 4 years ago. And so we drove up and met a family up near Buffalo, like a little bit south of Buffalo. Basically, they were having a baby the next day and it wasn't in the cards for them for various reasons. And it was one of those things we didn't really prepare because we'd been kind of planning to adopt, but we had kind of expected to almost kind of like find someone and kind of, a relationship with them, regardless of where they were, because that's kind of what you're opening yourself up to. We wanted to keep things domestic. Some people go international if they, if they can, I guess. Um, but we literally got a call, and so we drove up I think on a Tuesday morning, and they postponed the birth until the next day. And so we literally met these strangers. They had a little girl, and so we kind of hung out with them in the hospital for a week, and the hospital was a little bit turned off because the birth family was essentially like, oh, we found these people on Google and they came here to take our baby, and they're like, whoa, hold on.
Oh,
That kind of
wow.
like scared them. But that's, and essentially we were doing like, promotional stuff, and I can get into some of that if you want. But it was like, we had Google ads, we had Instagram ads, because you really turn into this like marketing push, because you're like, we're good people, we want to have, we're a caring family, we want to raise a kid. And so we were in the hospital with them for about a week, and it's kind of like, I guess, yeah, in upstate New York. And then there's different rules for different states, but we had to stay, I think, in New York State for about a week or two additionally. So we had to stay in, like, lived in a hotel with this newborn baby, so that was an interesting crash course.
Wow.
And we had friends at home that kind of like, clean things up for us, and like, we had some things, but we literally were at Walmart in upstate New York, like, okay, we need like, something for this baby to sleep in, and we needed some clothes. It just really caught us off guard, but I mean, it went really, yeah, I mean, we're doing really well now. I mean, it's hard to, it's been so natural, but it was so funny. It was just like literally this, my wife stayed home for, I think, a couple months on maternity, and then I took, I think about 2 or 3 weeks off, just because getting back to school and getting in the paperwork, it kind of takes a little bit longer than it should. I was like, well, I'm just going to take sick leave. So it kind of was nice to have that bonding time. And we've got a really good friend support network here. And we both have family that's relatively close. But yeah, it just kind of, we sort of fell into it, but there was kind of like this long journey of like kind of different steps to kind of get to that point. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'll just leave it at
That's
that.
incredible, man. I never heard an adoption story like that.